Welcome to OC6. We have a lot of awesome stuff to go through and show you all today. But first, I wanted to start off by, I've been saying for a while that we think that augmented and virtual reality are going to be the next major computing platform. And I just wanted to start off by talking for a little bit about why. Back even before I started Facebook, when I was still in college, I was studying psychology and computer science. Right? Because for a lot of us here, it's not just about building technology. It's about building technology that works the way that we do. And the first thing that you learn in Psychology 101 is you go through the anatomy of the brain, and you start learning just how much our brains have evolved and how most of them is really about connecting and communicating with other people. And so we have the language centers that almost no other animal has. You have the visual cortex, where we're especially dialed in to understanding people's emotions, right? If you're talking to someone and they move their eyebrow a millimeter or their cheek a little bit, you're going to notice because that means a completely different thing, whereas if something moves over there, you're probably not even going to pay attention. We have our mirror neurons that when we're interacting with another person, we understand what's going on in them and inside of us. So we experience the world through this feeling of presence and the interactions that we get with other people, which is why Facebook's technology vision has always been about putting people at the center of your computing experience. And we've mostly done that so far through building apps. And I don't think it's an accident that a lot of the top used and biggest apps that are out there are social experiences that put people at the center of the experience, because that's how we process things. But a lot of the technologies that we're working on here are foundational, not just for virtual reality, but also for the future of what we want to do with augmented reality too. And one of the really foundational things that we feel like we want to improve and make a lot better is input. Because in the future, you're going to be able to interact with digital objects with your hands, or just as naturally as you can with physical objects in the world. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you remember the first time that you tried out touch controllers, right? And how awesome it was. You were just able to look down in virtual reality and reach out and grab something or throw it and do something with it. And it really just added this whole element to the experience. But as soon as we made that possible, it immediately opened up this bigger question, which is, okay, how can we do even better? How can we make it so that instead of having to use hand controllers, we can just use our hands? And I am excited to announce that early next year, we're launching hand tracking on Quest. All right, want to see it? Let's check this out. So this means no controllers, no buttons, no straps, no external sensors, just full range of motion in your hands. And even if you've spent a lot of time in VR and you've spent a lot of time with touch controllers, I think that the first time that you get a chance to experience this and you just wiggle your fingers and you see that full range of motion in your hands, it takes the experience to a whole new level. This is what I mean when I talk about building a platform that improves over time. Right, 6 months ago, if you wanted to get into VR, you needed a PC, cables, sensors, hand controllers, and half a dozen physical objects. And now, soon, it's just going to be a headset. that you can bring with you anywhere that you go, that is full inside-out tracking, completely wireless, and now your hands are just going to be there too. So there's a lot of work that we still need to do to get to where we all want, but I think what you're starting to see is the hardware is getting out of the way. And with each step, we're getting to a more immersive and natural experience. All right, so now I want to talk about the future of input for a minute, though, because hand tracking is great. It doesn't require controllers, but it still requires you to use your hands. And in the future, we want to get to an input where we can just think something, and it happens. So what people call a neural interface. And earlier this week, we announced that the CTRL-LABS team will be joining us. And they're the leading team working on neural interfaces. They have a lot of the best researchers, computational neuroscientists, and more. And they're working on a wristband, right? And it picks up electrical impulses that are sent through your nervous system and turns them into digital signals that you can use as input in virtual and augmented reality. And it's completely non-invasive, right? So there's no surgery, no implants. You don't have to get holes drilled in your head. It's just a wristband. And so it gives you the sensation of being able to interact with digital objects just by thinking. And this is clearly early, right? It's gonna be a number of years before this gets into any of the products that we're shipping, but it works. And they have a dev kit that they're shipping already now. And now that the CTRL-LABS team is going to be joining our Facebook Reality Labs team that works on augmented and virtual reality, we're going to invest and make sure that this is a foundational part of the input for the next computing platform. And I'm really excited about this one, so I just wanted to talk about it for a few minutes today. All right, so the last thing that I want to talk about up front today is delivering a social experience in VR. Right, so I talked about for a while how our technology vision is putting people at the center of the computing experience. And a big part of how we do this is by building technology that advances the feeling of presence, right? So more immersive, getting the hardware out of the way, better and natural, more UI, better, more realistic avatars, which we'll talk about later. So that's one part of it. The other part is basically building the software experiences that put people at the center of the experience. And that's kind of our bread and butter as a company, right? We build a lot of the best social experiences for phones and for computers, and we want to do this in virtual reality as well. So great social experiences usually aren't just a place where you interact, right? They give you the ability to define the space around you. And so we've been working on something that does this in virtual reality. It's kind of a virtual reality take on this. And we've been working on this for a while, and today we want to announce an experience that we've been working on called Horizon. And in Horizon, you are going to be able to build your own worlds and experiences. You're going to be able to play games. You're going to be able to explore. You're going to be able to hang out with your friends and, of course, meet new people. And because everyone is going to be able to create their own spaces and experiences within it, Horizon is going to have this property where it just grows and expands and gets better and better over time as we focus on building this out for many years to come. So let's take a look at this.
There's another world, and it's right here, on my face. Welcome. This is Horizon. Think of me as your guide / self-appointed spokes avatar, here to show you around. Horizon is filled with possibilities. You can play stuff, make stuff, fly stuff. Whoa! Really love the stash, Stuart.
What up, Stuart?
Wait, I want a mustache. Horizon isn't about rules or limits or pants or people telling you not to fly an airplane while drinking your fresh ground, fair trade, French press morning coffee through a curly straw. Isn't that right, Debbie? Mm-hmm. It's about getting out there and trying new things, making your mark, making friends with an Australian named Mark.
Oh, actually, I'm from New Zealand. Yeah.
And you can even build a world of your own, like laser tag moon landing. Or this islandy place with these cutie patooties. In Horizon, the world is your lobster.
Isn't it oyster?
That too. So come, join us. A never-ending, ever-changing world beyond